Hi all, my name is Gaurav, and in this video we'll talk about the evolution of JavaScript. So it's a very interesting story. I have written a blog on this as well. You can refer that. I'll share the link in the video description. Okay, so let's start how JavaScript started. So we will go to the pictorial representation. Okay, yeah. So basically, it started because initially the website were the static. They are pretty, but once they are created, they were totally static. And Netscape was the company who wanted to make those website dynamic, so that they can give a better user experience, better content to the end user. So for that, they hired one developer. Developer name was Brandon, and they asked Brandon, "Hey, this is our purpose. We want to make website dynamic, but we don't have any supporting languages. So can you create one such language for us in 10 days?" And surprisingly, Brandon created that language within 10 days. And this was a new language, and they named this language as a JavaScript. Why JavaScript? Because Java was very popular at that time. This was a pretty new language, so they wanted to market it. So they made a name which resembles to Java, which was already a popular language, although it had nothing to do with the Java. So they named it as JavaScript. Now, once Netscape created the JavaScript, Microsoft thought, hey, why I should be behind? So they created their own language to make website dynamic, but that language was supporting the browser, which are owned by Microsoft, like Internet Explorer. They created the new language and they named that language as JavaScript, which resembles with the JavaScript, but actually JavaScript and JavaScript were the different languages. JavaScript created by Netscape and JavaScript created by Microsoft. Now, what started happening? Now we had a two different language, JavaScript and JavaScript. Now, if developer is creating a website and that web and which is dynamic, and so developer needs to create a two codes, one using JavaScript so that website is compatible with the Netscape browsers, and second with the JavaScript so that website is compatible with the Internet Explorer. So that was the problem. Now Netscape recognized this problem. Netscape said, hey, this is chaos. We should be having some common standard. So they went to an organization known as ECMA. In short, we pronounce it as a ICMA. So they went to ICMA. ICMA is a global organization which sets the standards for the technology communication. And ICMA said, okay, I'll create a standard for those. So ICMA created global standard for the language everyone should be following. So ICMA created that. So probably you would be thinking that problem is solved, but actually not. So this was the first standard created by ICMA in 1997. But down the line, Microsoft started gaining popularity, and 95% users were using the Microsoft Internet Explorer. Now, Microsoft thought, hey, everyone using my browser. So why should I worry about the standard? Whatever we are following, those are the standards. So they did not participate in the standard created by ICMA. So that is how those standards basically were created, but actually those were not being followed. Now in 2008, Google launched Chrome. So this was a game changer moment. So Google launched a Chrome browser along with its engine to execute runtime script, client-side script. Engine name was V8, which was super fast engine. Now, after 2008, then different company like Mozilla, Microsoft, Netscape, all those company, Apple, all those companies said, "Hey, now we have a variety of browsers, so we should be coming up with the standards so that we can create a better content, better website, and better user experience, and we can grow together. So that is how in 2008 they met in Oslo. Oslo is a capital of Norway. They met in Oslo, and that is how they agreed upon on the common standard. So again in 2009, almost after 10 years, in first time ICMA published a standard in 1997. Now in 2009, ICMA releases ES5 rulebook. ES5 means E stands for ICMA, ECMA, S stands for script. ICMA script 5 rulebook released. And because everyone was now agreed upon this rulebook, so they started following. Chrome, Mozilla, Apple, Microsoft, everyone started following this rulebook. So that is how our modern web begins. Then in 2015, ICMA again released a new set of guidelines. New, not new, basically they keep updating the standards. So now ES6 they released in 2015. Now that is how everyone came on the same page, started following the standard, and JavaScript became a professional language for the websites which are dynamic. So that is how today we get a JavaScript everywhere it is running. Whether we have a web browser, we have a mobile app, server side, client side, everywhere Java is running. So that's a history of JavaScript. Next video, probably we will talk about whether JavaScript is a multi-threaded language, it's a single-threaded language, it's a synchronous or asynchronous. So those are the things we would be talking into the next video. Till now, thank you. Enjoy.